If God knows everything and God has all power and God has a will that he wants to do in your life and through your life, then won't he do it whether you ask him or not? Why does he want you and me to pray about something if he's just going to do what he wants to do anyway? Have you ever had thoughts like that? Well, part of the answer to that question is that God has not only a good and perfect and acceptable will that he wants to accomplish in your life and through your life, but God has also ordained the means by which he is going to bring that to pass. For example, a farmer could say, well, you know what? God has all power. And if God wants to, he could just cause that cotton crop to grow whether I plant anything or not. And the truth is that that's correct. God could do that. But God has chosen that if he wants there to be a harvest of cotton, he's chosen that the means by which that will happen is to plant cotton. So a farmer has to plant cotton to bring about a harvest of cotton. Well, just as God has ordained the means of sowing and reaping in the physical world to bring about his purposes, so in the spiritual world, God has chosen the means by which he gets his good and acceptable and perfect will done in your life and through your life. That means is prayer. The means is you asking him. I suppose you could compare prayer to spiritual sowing and reaping. If you want to reap God's will, you must pray and ask him for it. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, verse 8 and 9, "Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. This then is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name." Jesus says your Father already knows what you need before you ask him. But here's how you need to ask him. You see, God has ordained the means of prayer by which he gets his will done in and through your life. In the same sermon, next chapter, Matthew chapter 7, verse 11, Jesus said, "If you who are evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him?" James 4:2 says, "You have not because you ask not." So if God knows everything, why does he want you to pray? Because prayer is the means by which God accomplishes his good, acceptable, and perfect will in your life.